Hello. So we'll speak about SER, because this is a nanosatellite to observe the Sun and the Earth. In this one, you can see the outline of the presentation. First step, I will speak about the scientific objective, the SER mission. I will show you a plan schedule, and I will show you the SER nanosatellite architecture, the payload, the ground segment, and some conclusion about our studies. So first step, we have 4 scientific topics. The first one is to improve the knowledge of the absolute value of the total solar radiance. And we want to do a measurement with a better accuracy than 0.5 watt per square meter. And we want also to extend the TSI variability measurement with the long-term stability, 10 years. That's why we are interested about nanosatellite and to develop a constellation. And we want to have an accuracy better than 0.5 watt per square meter, 0.5. And the third point is to monitor the solar spectral irradiance at 250 nanometers. So this is the Herzberg solar continuum, and with the relative accuracy better than 0.5% per year. And to finish, we want to establish a radiation balance of the Earth with a better accuracy than 5%. So I will show you this slide. Very interesting because when we do measurement about the TSI, we have a bottom-up effect on the climate. But when we study only the UV variation, and for example, the Herzberg variation at 250 nanometers, we have an impact between the stratosphere and the mesosphere. So there is a link with ozone, and after there is also a global effect about the wave radiation, planetary wave, and the rest of the things. So I will go in details. If we go to the TSI, the first measurement in space was close to 1,371 watt per square meter. But for last measurement, we find something close to 1,361 watt per square meter. This is one of the Astronomical Union resolution in 2016. And we are interested also about the variation of the TSI. We can show a plot about the impact since the space measurement starting in 1978. And we can see a decrease. So this one is a composite value and also a model, but we don't know if we have a decrease. And if we have a decrease about all the solar minima, we can have an impact on the climate, but we need to find a small decrease bigger than 0.3 watt per square meter. So after, we do also this measurement with some composite from the Switzerland or Belgium, like Akrin and PMOD. And if I go to the third objective, we are testing about the monitoring of the solar spectral irradiance at 250 nanometers. So we have the same trend, and we have a space instrument on board the International Space Station. So the name is Solar Surface. So we do measurement since 2008, and we can see also probably a sharp decrease. So we are very interested to do measurement and to do comparison after with the modelization and to show if we have an impact of this trend and the link with the stratospheric ozone. So we are very interested about all this measurement. And to finish, we are interested to do Earth radiation budget because we have a link between all of this measurement and we can do all of this measurement for another planet like Mars or other planet of the solar system. So, second step, I will show you the schedule about our system. So we start this project in 2014-2015, so we are already in phase A. So this is a student project, so I work with a student from Polytechnic School from France. Then we are at phase 0, phase A. So after we will have a preliminary design review. And to conclude, we go for launch, probably in 2022, and a commissioning in orbit at this time. So the idea is to use the Sun synchronous orbit for this application. This is the geosynchronous orbit. The idea is to be at 680 kilometers. So we need to respect some law. So this one is the international law, and in French we said loi des opérations spéciales. And we need to be not more than 20 years in space. And if we are 60, 80 degrees, 60, 80 kilometers, we have no problem of low with debris. So, but our objective is to obtain in final a constellation and to have a federation of spacecraft, and probably to go to the Lagrangian L1 point, because we are interested to have no effect of the contamination. I will show you after some effect we have seen with our instrumentation, because we developed a lot of systems since 20 years in my laboratory about sun observation, and we see a lot of effect of the degradation. So small system is difficult because there is some temperature effect, and there is also the effect of the contamination due to a lot of electronic board, and with no rules about the contamination effect. So this one is a picture about the spacecraft. So we have on the right side 3D model printing. We do that with the student. So this is the maquette. On the left we have a drawing. So you can see we have 2 units for the platform and 1 unit for the payload. And after we need to use also solar panel with mechanism, because we need to have a lot of power about this system. So this one is another picture. You can see the S-band antenna, because we will take some picture. So we will also to have S-band antenna for having some low high data. And we use the CubeADCS 3-axis bundle for doing the pointing of the sun, but also pointing of the star, because we need to have also a pointing system for doing some star calibration, but also deep space measurement, and to finish sun observation, because we want to use simultaneous measurement about the sun and the earth. This one is another view. You can see at the bottom the S-band antenna at the top, because we are in the sun synchronous orbit, so we need to have 2 antennas. We have battery, electronic power supply, S-band board, onboard computer, and also the bundle for the pointing. And the top unit is for the payload. So this one is the main characteristic about our system. So we have a mass of 4.5 kilograms, and the power is 90 watts. For us, that's a complex solution because we need to have a lot of dissipation. And generally, it's easy to see a system like this, but if you have a lot of power, it's difficult to have a good temperature in space. After, for data storage, we can have 1 gigabyte. And for our application, we need to have a download volume of 400 megabytes per day. And we need to have also 3 machine modes, sun pointing, nadir pointing, and star pointing. And the lifetime is 1 year for this application. Our big problem is contamination. So we can have a contamination, so we don't want to use some pyrotechnic system. So the idea is to develop a system for opening the solar panel. So we want to develop our system. We want to use a neutron wire like this. We will introduce heating of the wire, and with the stress on the link of the wire, we can switch off the system and open the solar panel. And after, this is good also because we can help the student to develop some solution and to do some calculation. So we can do theoretical calculation about this solution, but also finite element model analysis to see if this is a good solution or not, and to have an idea of the opening time of the solar panel. So we do the same after we have onboard computer. So we will use a French electronic board, the Milano board, for the onboard computer. For the power, we will also use a board from the Steel Electronic company, which is in the south of France. After, we will use also S-band transmitter with this characteristic. The big problem for this application is the power consumption. So we have 10 watts, we have 33 dBm direct output. So we need also to find a solution during all the operating mode to optimize the power consumption of our system. And to finish, for the pointing system electronic board, we have a cooperation with the Stellenbosch University in South Africa. We use 2 systems, one for the solar pointing and one for the sun pointing, and we want to have an accuracy better than 0.2 degree when we see the sun, and for the Earth observation, 1 degree is okay. So this is a picture about the system, and this is some calculation done for obtain very fast pointing when we see the sun, or when we go to the Earth to do some Earth-related jet measurements. So this is the part of the location. This is the payload. In this one you can see we have not a lot of locations, so our satellite is very difficult. Don't know if we can do good science. We need to try. We need to start with Earth observation. After we are interested for planetary observation and for a bit like L1. This one is a view of all the sensors, and in particular we have a UV photometer for doing observation of the Earth bare continuum at 215 nanometers. We have also a solar radiometer to observe the sun in all the wavelength band, camera to image the Earth, and to finish two Earth radiometers. I will show you only the two payload systems, solar radiometer and the photometer. So we use the technology that we have improved already in some space mission like Picard and Borsolo. We developed a lot of radiometers. So we need to use a shutter to open and close during the observation. We have a precision aperture, barcode, an external tube, and we will use a sensor with a nanotube of carbon. So we have some research and development program with a nanotube of carbon. We want to have a black body, because if we have a lot of absorption close to it, we can have the right measurement of the total solar irradiance. For the UV photometer, we do the same principle, but we introduce a narrowband filter to observe only in the narrowband wavelengths, and we use a stepper motor to open and close the system during short period. So this one is again doing by the students, so we can do some simulation with theoretical application and with also some thermal tools. For this one we use only some equation. So you can see in the bottom theoretical equation about our system. This is a perfect radiometer. And on the left, we introduce some correction about the distance between the spacecraft and the sun. And after we do the simulation for all the application, and you can see we have a high variation of temperature. You can have a system with temperature between minus 50 to 15 or 20 degrees C. So this is the problem with nanosatellites. The thermal control is a very big problem. So for this application, we will introduce some thermal control. So we use some system about the optimization of the PID thermal control loop. And we'll use this relation to find the best parameters about the regulation and to find the optimization of the system. And after, we can do some simulation also about this application to see the time response if we have an open loop and after a closed loop. And to conclude, we can do some tests with the students. This is the work in progress with an experimental model to see what we have and what we can obtain. And if we have a fast system, because we want to have a system with a more fast time response to obtain the best results and to have the nice acquisition. This is the last point. The last point is the ground segment. So we want to use the S-band antenna. We have a discussion with the French community. We have already some S-band antenna in some countries inside the metropole. But we want to also introduce one in Paris, is close to Paris, to have this field of view and to have a lot of acquisition for our program about this spacecraft developed. So conclusion, CRO satellite aims two scientific objectives in connection with the observation of the Earth and the Sun. So the deployment system of the solar panel designed for this system is the new one. We don't want to use a pyrotechnic system because we have seen a lot of problems with our previous system in relation with the contamination. Part of the radiometer will use advanced technology like nanotube of carbon. We have a solar absorption close to 0.99, the band between 200 nanometer to 3 micron. And to obtain high accuracy measurement, we want to use all of this technology with a fast system response to obtain a lot of measurement with a lot of acquisition. And to finish, we need to respect also the rules about the debris. So we do. And to finish, of this last slide, we have a high impact of the degradation. You can see on this slide, this is our measurement, our last measurement about our system on board the International Space Station. You can see that we have fast degradation in the UV belt after 1 or 2 years, because there is a lot of gassing about material inside the spacecraft. And for this one, we respect a lot of cleanliness rules. So for small spacecraft, we don't know if it's possible, but it's difficult. So we have seen also the impact of the temperature variation in orbit. So we have an interest for around orbit at hydrogen port alone, because we can have an equilibrium about the temperature and the effect of the cloud of contaminants. And also interest for long-term measurement. So while we are interested about spacecraft and constellation, we do a lot of measurement during a lot of time, because we are interested to see more than one solar cycle for a duration of minimum 11 years. So thank you. Thank you for your question.
So thank you, Mustafa. Do you have any questions? No questions at this point. Maybe I can ask a question. Which TRL level would you say?
It depends on the system.
Okay, so if we're talking about the whole system.
About average TI of 4.
So,
Yes, 4. But we have a lot of experience about the systems. So we can see for all the system is TI 4. Thank you.
any other questions?
So I have one. I'm not sure whether it was mentioned by Mr. Bissett, but how is the satellite going to get to its deployment area where it's going to survey the sun?
That's the problem with this.
How is it going to get there? Is it on a what country or is it a secondary payload?
No, it's not solar payload. As well, we will probably have a dedicated launcher.
Oh, okay.
But we need to study that. We have also cooperation with the CNES, the French Space Agency. So we need to have a dedicated system for this.
So how many satellites will be in the constellation? How many do you envisage in the constellation?
If you have a lot of money, we can do a lot of things. The problem is the local time, because for this one we have 6 hours. And if we want to have a better recovery of the Earth's radiative budget, if we have minimum 4 spacecraft around the Earth is good. And for sun observation, if we have 2 or 3, this is good, because we have the problem of degradation. So we can use the system a long time, and another system a short time, to see the impact of the degradation and of the aging.
Just looking on this degradation plot, there are 2 trends there. Do you have any explanation actually what has changed to slow it down?
Yes, good question. For the first trend, we use the internal calibration lamp inside. So we have something like holographic lamp. I don't know if you know this technology. It's because we use internal calibration, and when we use the lamp, there is a high temperature variation. And when we have a high variation temperature, we have an impact of all the glue inside the system. So we have a fast gassing. So after this step, on this side, we switch off the use of the lamp. And after you can see the impact of the degradation is more lower. So operation is very important when you do long-term measurement, and you can see the impact of temperature operation and impact about the process.
Any further questions? No? Well, let's thank you so very much.